All right, welcome back to another Double D Express with Dr. Doug. That's right. We're going to express my thoughts on toxic topics of pop culture issues. We're trying to have a dialogue, not debate. And don't forget to register and hit that like button. I want to give one more sound out to my freesound.org that did a lot of my sound effects. So what are we talking about today? Tend your garden economics. That's a new one. Now, I don't want to talk about capitalism, socialism, communism, because that makes people's ears and eyes bleed from beating on each other. So I wanted to go with gardens, because gardens are delightful. They're therapeutic. And I wanted to go back to Aristotle and his ideas of creating economics. Is that nice music? It's just soft, pleasant, like gardening. Economics is a Greek word oikonomikos, which oikos is house and nomikos is a law or rule or a management. Hence, the art of managing a household. That's what it means, all right? He was interested in studying why some family business failed and others thrived. He analyzed it, he turned it into a science, and he came up with an ideal, all right? A theory of what would work best. And that's what we're going to consider today. His idea of economics, the household business, as first gardening, I'm going to turn it into a metaphor for wealth, all right? Home gardens, all right? Those are the nice ones. The growing your own food, right? It's hard work, creates success. They're well managed. And they then have groups that plant, harvest, and can their food. See, now the family, home gardens, is self-sufficient. And that works, right? Yep, heavenly. Otherwise, we have hell managed. Yeah, home gardens. Remember your Billy Bob Butthead neighbor who wouldn't take care of his house, his barn. He didn't sow anything, so he had nothing to reap. And his fails. Yep, that crashed to the ground, okay? Like that wall. Communal gardens. Now, this is where one person or a small family doesn't feel that they can do it by themselves. So the whole community gets together for shared success. They all have a work to do on the communal garden area, and in the end, they all share the success, okay? And that's good. Yep. But there's also shared failure in communal gardens. What if you have incompetent or just corrupt people and they don't really do the work very well and there's nothing to harvest? Well, then you have an abandoned little village or town, okay? Because they couldn't work well together. And that's always going to be the issue with communal gardens. What if everyone doesn't do the hard work, okay? Another one fell down. Yeah, okay. Let's throw that away. Market gardens. Now this is where you have, you grow a surplus of food and you want to take that to market and sell it in exchange for money from someone who doesn't have a garden, but they're working for money. See, now we have fair exchanges going on, all right? We turn our surplus into wealth, okay? People are gathered together, they're all having a good time, all right? Sharing their food with in exchange for wealth, okay? Then someone comes along and buys up a lot of this and turns it into a grocery store, a produce department, where now a lot of people can come in and buy that because they don't grow the food themselves, and you have a fair exchange. Everyone benefits from it, okay? I'm going to use it now, the garden, as a metaphor for wealth, all right? Gardens of wealth, all right? Yes, everyone likes a garden, and everyone likes wealth. Tending your garden turns out to be a lot like tending your wealth, taking care of it. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon, all right? Luxurious, exotic flowers and fruits that the king of Babylon would have in his palatial garden. The gardens of Versailles, where Louis XIV would bring his aristocratic guests, and they would walk all through his gardens, and they'd be amazed at the royal gardens. Very expensive to maintain. It takes a lot of wealth to do that. So gardens have always been something of a metaphor for wealth, okay? Home wealth. We're back to the well-managed, okay? You have a family that decides they want to be entrepreneurs. They want to start their own business, okay? They have, in this case, a computer store, right? The shelves are stocked because they have repeat customers that keep coming back to buy more good stuff from them. They've started their own business. They're creating their own wealth, okay? On the other hand, you can also have hell-managed businesses, right? They don't get repeat customers, and they close down. That then results in failure and bankruptcy, okay? Got to have a fire sale at that point, all right? And then we have another collapse, okay? Communal wealth. Again, a group working together creating the wealth, all right? Now, it sounds good, but it ends up being shared minimalism, okay? You got a lot of people here working in this factory, all right? You got the machines humming, they're going like crazy. What is their fair share going to be? Well, it's going to end up meaning equal shares, okay? Can they all get paid $50 an hour? No. 25? No. 5? Yeah, they can all get paid $5 an hour. See? But then that's called minimum wage. And that results in minimal effort because there's no incentive to work harder and smarter to get a bonus, because that would make us unequal. We don't want that. We want our fair share, our equal share, all right? And what happens with that one? Well, it results in minimal effort, okay? If they're not going to get ahead, then why even try hard, right? And that results in minimal quality. It's crap. No one wants to buy it. And now your communal factory collapses, okay? Another one bites the dust, okay? And now we simply have shared failure. Yahoo! Well, shatter that out of the way. Wealth of nations. This is where we're going to go from Aristotle to Adam Smith during the 1700s and during the Revolution, American Revolution. The question was that he was asking was, how do nations create wealth, and which one works best? Aristotle was interested in the home business, the family business, all right? We're going to start with Adam Smith with entrepreneurs. Those who would, it's related to enterprise. They take the initiative to create their own business and their own wealth. How do they do that? They look for markets. What's in high demand but low supply? And they start a business to service that. Now, it's important that he noted, it is not for our benefit that the butcher, the baker, and the brewer do their business, but it's for their own benefit. Now, that makes them selfish bastards, right? That's what gives them a bad name, because they're only interested in their own selfish interests. But that's the reverse psychology here that Adam Smith recognized. The only way they get their benefits met is if they service our needs and wants, all right? They have to serve us. And they have to do it with quality goods and service, or we won't become repeat customers, all right? Now, that is very good. We all like that success. Then there's government command wealth, where the government controls the means of wealth, but also the distribution of wealth, okay? They're not interested in supply and demand. They're just interested in work being done. Now, who would want this instead of being an entrepreneur? Well, there's a lure here, okay? The lure, or the bait. You go fishing, and I got one. The same goes for humans. What's the lure? Well, no one's left behind. That's very important. We're all going to be taken care of. We're all going to be on the gravy train, okay? And that way you don't have to have the fear of failure in your own business, okay? They'll take care of us. Promises of care, okay? But I'm going to go with no one gets ahead. See, if no one's left behind, then no one ever gets ahead. If they're ambitious or hard work, doesn't matter. They cannot create any quality of wealth. We must have everyone getting their fair, equal share, okay? Now, it reminds me of Juliet in Romeo and Juliet. It's a paraphrase. Remember, she said, a rose by any other name would smell sweet, because it's still a rose. And a slave by any other name or odor is still a slave. Now, what do I mean by slave here? It's someone who doesn't have the power or the freedom to create wealth for themselves. They're stuck in a government job, getting their minimum wage, and they put in their minimum effort. And it always ends up with poor quality and the collapse of the economy. Yeah, kind of sad, all right? So, there we have Tending Your Garden with another Double D Express with Dr. Doug. All right, so tend your garden is like tending your well. You got to work it, all right? Be an entrepreneur. Create your own garden of wealth. And then you won't have to envy because you have success. Until next time.